All right, let's dive right in. Today we're tackling a really powerful idea. What if certain foods could do more than just manage diabetes? What if they could actually help reverse it? We're going to break down 6 specific foods from our source material that just might make a massive difference.
Now that is a bold statement, right? And it's really the core of what we're talking about today. It completely challenges what many of us have been told for years. The whole argument is, if we rethink the cause, we can totally rethink the solution.
So, here's the bottom line. Our source frames diabetes not as some kind of life sentence, but simply as a dietary disorder. If it's something caused by what we eat, well, that means changing what we eat is our most powerful tool to fix it. Simple as that.
Okay, let's start with our first category. We're talking about some incredible vegetables that, honestly, are probably sitting in your kitchen right now. Think of these as the foundation, the healing foods we're going to build on. First up is pumpkin. And what's really fascinating here is the science. Get this. One study found that just the seeds could slash those after-meal blood sugar spikes by up to 35%. That's huge. And a great little tip from the source, cook the green kind with the skin still on to get all that extra fiber. Of course, everyone's different, so it's always smart to chat with your doctor about any big diet changes. Next, we've got bitter gourd, or as many people know it, chlorella. For centuries, this has been considered a powerhouse medicinal food for diabetes in many cultures. And now modern science is finally catching on, finding compounds in it that can help the pancreas work better. I know exactly what you're thinking. Yeah, it's super good for you, but that raw juice, wow, the taste can be a real challenge, to put it lightly. So, how on earth do you make this something you can actually stick with? And here's the fix. You don't have to just suffer through it. By blending it with some ginger, then adding a little rock salt and a good squeeze of lemon, you make it so much more palatable. Plus, you're adding even more health benefits. The key is to have it on an empty stomach right before breakfast to get the max effect. And our final power veggie is okra. You know, this one's really getting a lot of attention from scientists lately. It's packed with these special fibers and antioxidants that are just fantastic for helping to lower blood sugar. And hey, don't forget about those tiny white seeds inside. They're little nutrient powerhouses. All right, let's move on. Our next section is all about making some simple, smart swaps. We're talking about the snacks you reach for and, maybe most importantly, the grains you eat every single day. This right here is such a common trap. That mid-afternoon hunger hits and what do you grab? If it's packaged stuff like chips or biscuits, your blood sugar is going to go for a ride. The super simple, super powerful swap, a piece of fruit combined with a handful of nuts or seeds. So why does this combo work so well? Well, think of it like this. The fruit gives you quick energy and fiber, but the healthy fats from the nuts act like a brick, slowing down how fast that sugar hits your bloodstream. It's this teamwork between the fat and the fiber that prevents that dreaded sugar spike. Okay, listen up, because this next one is what our source calls the single biggest game changer of them all. I mean, that's a pretty bold claim, right? The idea here is that focusing on just this one change could lead to absolutely dramatic results. So here it is, the ultimate grain swap. It's about moving away from things like wheat and white rice and instead bringing in millets like ragi and jawar or steel-cut oats. These grains are amazing because they're packed with fiber and have a much lower glycemic index, which means they keep you full and your blood sugar nice and stable. All right, this next section is about building what you might call a keystone habit. It's just one super simple trick, something you do right before your 2 biggest meals of the day, but it has a massive impact. This is it. The source actually calls this the 47% habit because one study showed it could lower blood sugar by that much. And the rule couldn't be simpler. Before you even touch your main course at lunch or dinner, you have to eat a plate of salad first. And you can even get strategic with it. For lunch, a simple mixed veggie salad with cucumber and cabbage is perfect. But for dinner, the source specifically recommends a salad made from raw onion. So why onion? The answer is in the data. Check out this number, 40 points. In one study, patients who ate about 1 medium-sized raw onion before their meal saw their blood sugar drop by an average of 40 points within just 4 hours. That is just incredible for something so simple. So we've talked about a lot of different foods and habits, but you might be wondering, how does this all fit together in a real day? Let's map it out and put it all into a simple, easy-to-follow plan. Okay, look at this. This lays it out perfectly. You could start your day with that bitter gourd juice. Then for breakfast, maybe a savory porridge made with those steel-cut oats. At lunch, you start with your salad, then have a main meal with a millet roti.
Your afternoon snack, that perfect fruit and nut combo. And for dinner, you start with that powerful onion salad, followed by a light millet dish. You see how all the pieces just click into place?
You know, the plan is all right here. The knowledge is laid out. But the source makes a really important point. Knowing what to do, that's usually the easy part. The real challenge, the thing that trips most of us up, is just doing it, day in and day out.
And really, it all comes down to this. The only thing that truly matters is consistency. The advice is to really commit to this for 3 months. Just give it a real shot. Don't worry about being perfect. Just focus on the daily effort. That's how you build momentum, until these new choices just become your new normal.
And that brings us to the end. The information is all here, but the action, well, that starts with you. So after everything we've talked about today, what's the one small change, the one thing you can commit to starting tomorrow? Thanks so much for tuning in.